CJOC.
And the present CJOC weather tower reading, I don't think it is that one, Gord.
I think it is, Bill. Let's find out. I told you.
You're right.
You wouldn't listen.
Oh, it's the worst one in the whole... 31.
Okay, 15 minutes after 8 o'clock at CJOC. Listen, I was reading a very interesting article last night about New York.
New York, New York, it's a wonderful town. The battery's up and the power's down. New York, New York, it's a wonderful town.
Now, I know when you get down there, you know, you're going to be in the limelight with the big weather map and everything, and you're going to be going to a lot of social functions.
We'll take Manhattan.
Now, that's exactly what I want to talk about, is they're serving a new drink down there.
What's that?
And it's a new kind of Manhattan.
Oh.
And I want you to stay away from it.
The old Manhattan.
Because it's mixed with rye and water from the Hudson River in one drink, and you're polluted right out of your mind. So I want you to stay away from those things.
This I can believe, Gord. I feel like I just had a drink right now. It must be the empathy or homeopathic magic or something. Anyway, here we are in Lethbridge, and the temperature is 36 degrees. No, 37, pardon me.
Hey.
Up 6 degrees the past hour. And I'm glad I don't live in Calgary, Edmonton, or Red Deer, because they have a front up there, and it's really wretched. You know, if you drew a line from Banff and drew it right across the southern part of the province to Medicine Hat, and there is the cold front. Now, north of that front, it's cold. You know, it's 20 above, it's fog and rain and snow in Calgary, and all that sort of stuff. But down here in the south, we have
beautiful, salubrious
and all that jazz. This is because we have this low pressure area coming in, you see, and bringing out all this southerly wind. But if that cold air ever decides it wants to move in our direction, we've had it, you know. We've had it. There's nothing we can do about it.
We've had it.
But at any rate, in Lethbridge right now, not to worry. Sunny skies, a westerly wind at 15, 37 above, up 6 in the past hour, and I have all the weather news for Cardston Motors and the Fort McLeod auction. Okay, the synopsis says this, that the Arctic front is lying on the line from Banff to Medicine Hat, and north of the front, a moist, low-level easterly flow will maintain cloudy skies today with light freezing drizzle, snow, fog, and all the trouble that the devil can brew. Scattered snow flurries will continue today over the northern half of the province, will become more numerous tomorrow along the foothills. Temperatures today will generally range from 20 to 30 degrees in the cold air, but will be 45 here in the south, and similar temperatures are expected tomorrow. In Edmonton right now, visibility down to 4 miles in freezing drizzle and fog. It's only 24 above with no wind. Red Deer, 1/4 mile in freezing drizzle, snow and fog. Sounds like Castlegar. 18 above and no wind. Listen to Calgary. Visibility a 1/2 mile in snow and fog, 23 above, no wind. See, all those places are all affected by that front. Then we come south of the border and it miraculously starts to clear up a little bit. Medicine Hat, which is the eastern terminus of that front across the province, has 2 miles visibility in fog, 26 above. Pitcher Creek, 36 above with a westerly wind at 16 and sunny skies. In Cutbank, Montana, it's sunny, westerly winds at 11 and 30 above. Great Falls, sunny, 34 with a southwest wind at 18. In Cranbrook, BC, cloudy, southerly winds at 10 to 33. And in Castlegar, visibility is down to 6 miles and smoke. 34 above and a southerly wind at 8. And here now, the detailed weather forecast for Lethbridge. It's going to be sunny today with strong westerly winds, 20 miles an hour and gusty, driving the maximum temperatures to 45 above. Tomorrow, it's going to be sunny, but there will be a few clouds in the afternoon. Overnight lows 20, highs tomorrow near 40. Yesterday, the maximum temperature in Lethbridge was 48. The overnight low was 31. The sun got up this morning at 6:38. Will set this evening at 6:42. Relative humidity 76%, and the barometer stands at 29.63, and it's holding steady. We have a sunny sky, a westerly wind at 15, and the present CJOC weather tower reading.
And now, here's a message for all you ham operators.
37.
Fort McLeod Auction invites you to the Dr. Mark Stringham Ranches Limited Sale. Highlighted the New Holland Super 717 new forage harvester and a new Gilmore High Dump forage wagon. There's a Case Model 870 with 1,400 hours. Well, Bill, I guess the fact that Jack Ties tried to quit smoking and switched to chewing toothpicks and came down with Dutch elm disease has gone to his head, you know.
Well, I don't know. 100-foot haul. That's got to be the payoff for the Oddfellows Hall. Maybe we better tell everybody. I don't know if they have a 100-foot haul in Claresholm, but the...
No, but they got a 98-foot one.
The all-party rally is not being held in that hall tomorrow. It's being held in the Oddfellows Hall tomorrow.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we'll just get that clear.
Little typographical error there.
Yeah. Okay, moving right along in the old early morning show now.
I'll tell you, Bill, isn't nature a strange thing? I mean, aside from the weather.
That seems like a leading question. Yes, it is a strange thing. Why do you make that observation this morning?
Well, I was just noticing here a little story about a lady in Arkansas. Mary Bittelbrun was 111 years old yesterday.
Good heavens.
Isn't that something, eh?
I wonder what she attributes her longevity to. The reason I ask that is because whenever they ask these old-timers what they attribute it to, they either say because they never smoked or drank, or because that's all they ever did.
10 cigars a day and
Yeah, that's right, and a quart of brandy, yeah.
Well, Mary says she's feeling pretty good and pretty fine, but I understand they're going to make a movie about her.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're going to make a sequel to one of those disastrous things, you know, movies about disaster.
Yeah.
Next year when she has her birthday and they light the candles on her cake, they're going to make the Towering Inferno Part 2. 112
I knew you had to get it off. I was just waiting for that. Okay, way to go.
14 after 8. You know, Bill, I had a friend in Winnipeg who had you've got a black stripe on the yellow peril, but Dennis's car was just yellow. And it was, I think, a 1966 Ford station wagon, bright yellow, even brighter than yours. We used to call it the incognito mobile. You know, he'd always go somewhere and try to get away from everybody with his girlfriend, but was the only one in the city. You know, you couldn't miss it.
Yeah. So that's the way it is with those yellow cars. Well, they're so highly obvious. You know, this is why they're painting fire wagons and all those things yellow now instead of the traditional red.
Anybody driving past the palatial 3rd Avenue studios of CJOC will no doubt bear witness to the yellow peril parked in all its glory right in front of the station.
With the black racing stripe?
With the black racing stripe.
Hot dog, yeah.
Bill's just standing here admiring his automobile.
In all modesty, of course.
Spring has sprung, the grass is riz, and with the weather, Bill Matheson is. Hey.
Hi. Good morning, everyone, on this first day of spring. Tra-la. In spring, a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of love.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, but right now I'm looking around out here where we are, and your thoughts turn to people like Jack the Ripper.
Oh, a little fog.
Expect to see a hooded figure skulking about, because we've got fog out here. Looks like a great day for a murder or something.
None downtown, Matt.
You expect to hear some limey courtesan screaming, "It's the Ripper! It's the Ripper!" But officially, there's no fog in Lethbridge at all, Norm. Or not Norm. I just finished speaking to Norm.
Right, Fred.
Norm, the weatherman. I'm speaking to Gordon now, and all our listeners, of course. But there's no fog out at the weather office. Consequently, there's no fog in Lethbridge. Do you realize that?
That's right.
Have you got fog downtown?
Not a bit.
We've got some out here. It's just moving in from the northeast, but I think the sun is coming up. It's going to burn it right off. So if the Ripper wants to do his nefarious deeds, he better get them done pretty quick. Okay.
Well, Bill, 1 month from today, you'll be hard at it down in New York, and you'll probably have met Howard by now.
Yes, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. We'll be getting on saying, and a good evening to all you 7 men people.
You know, I'm kind of looking forward to hearing your experiences when you do meet Howard Cosell, because you have a very good vocabulary, as does Howard.
I see.
You know, I read a thing in Howard Cosell's autobiography about he hired a skywriter one day to write an 8-word sentence over New York City, and the guy ended up in Pennsylvania before he got finished the 8th word, you know.
Just goes to show you, eh?
That's right.
What you got to go through. Well, I don't think I'll be pulling anything like that for a while anyway.
You won't, eh?
But I know my boy Kid has got himself the biography of Howard Cosell, so I guess he wants to be all up to date when he meets the man or something.
Yeah, that's really going to be something.
No, I suppose, yeah.
The store where ladies shop for men.
Well, Bill, we were talking earlier there at 7:15 about how you're wearing something green today with it being St. Patrick's Day. You know, my dad wears green skin. Every St. Patrick's Day.
What, green what?
Green skin.
Green skin?
Yeah, he's like you and I. He likes to drink scotch, you know. But he changes to Irish whiskey today, and it just has a real adverse effect on him.
It has a real adverse effect. Well, I don't know if they still do it, but the bars around town used to serve green beer in town here. Did they ever do that out of Winnipeg?
Not that I can remember, no.
Yeah, we used to have green beer here all the time. But I don't know that they do it anymore.
Green beer.
Green beer. You know, green is grass.
Is that right?
It tasted the same old way.
Well, they just put dye in it, do they?
Pardon?
They just put some kind of dye in it?
I guess so. I don't know, but because it really came out green. No kidding about that.
Was there a leprechaun on the tap?
Aye. And what are the little people, you know? Aye. How come we haven't been hearing Dennis Day?
Gee, I don't know.
Good
Jack Benny
Dennis.
wouldn't let him loose.
Yes, your mother come from Ireland. And all that sort of jazz.
Donald, where's your trousers?
No. And I have all the weather news for Pick a Pop and Stubbs Pharmacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alderman Bill Kurgan speaking.
Just had to call Bill. It's food dye you use in the beer to make it green.
Oh, I
Just thought you'd like to know that.
Oh, well, I'm delighted. Well, I didn't think it would be copper sulfate or something like that. We have a few clouds, a westerly wind at 18, and the present CJOC weather tower reading, Faith and Bagora, 31.
Stubbs.
Well, 16 after 7, Bill. Guess who was just in here? I couldn't believe it.
I have no idea.
Jack Innes
Jack Innes?
was in here on his way down for his morning coffee with the guys at the Marquis, you know.
Well, yeah.
But Jack was standing up, and he was stretching and everything else. He said, geez, I just finished my exercises. And I just about fell over. But you know what he's doing?
What?
He's got one of those exercise machines. It's called an Apollo.
Oh, yeah, and you hook it up to the doorknob.
Yeah, one with all the springs.
That's right.
Well, can you see Innes? He's going to be an Apollo, all right. He'll get those springs all wound up and he'll launch himself. It'll be the next moonshot. Couldn't you see him sailing high above Lethbridge?
Yes, I can. Or I can see the door coming off the hinge, too.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Well, you're listening, Jack, old buddy. The very best luck to
I
you.
thought he'd had an accident in bed
My
or
God,
something.
pretty soon he'll have his waist down to a slim 46. Oh,
Be able to try out for the Calgary Stampeders.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
No refund.
30 seconds time, Mr. Matheson with the weather.
Gonna win the West. Who's gonna win the West?
Gee, I probably shouldn't talk about this after running a commercial for the Western Canada Lottery, Bill, but did you win anything last night?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't win a thing, Gord.
81 prizes were drawn for.
Yeah, and people are phoning up and want 81 numbers.
Were you talking funny just now?
I beg your pardon?
Were you talking funny just now?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't.
No, I tell you, we had an accident out here. You know, we've got a cat in the newsroom, eh?
Patches.
Patches. And
Patches made
he put
segue.
down all the mice that we were in trouble with out here.
Yeah.
But this morning, Patches was looking out the window and he was licking his chops. A bunch of birds were out there, you see, but he won't go outside.
Too scared.
Anyway,
Yeah.
right near Patches, we have a quart of crude oil. You know, it's in a bottle and...
Drumheller Crude.
Drumheller crude, that's right.
That's right, yeah.
And the cat, he got excited when a bunch of birds flew near and he jumped up, stepped over the bottle of crude, and it smashed right on all our news.
Oh, terrific.
Oh, yeah, you should see the mess out here. Holy cats.
Polluters.
Well, they say beware the calends of March.
When are you starting mop-up operations?
What?
When are you starting
Well,
mop-up
that's what we're doing right now. Did you hear Steve Fowell in the background? He was giving that cat a bad time.
Is that what all that abusive language was?
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible.
The poor cat, he'll never come back in the newsroom again.
Well, he's made the big time now.
Yeah,
he was
made
in the
big
company magazine, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Get out of here, forget it, no.
That's what Bill says about tomorrow's snow forecast.
33.
15 after 8 o'clock. CJOC, Mr. Matheson with the weather. Hey, I guess, I just got to thinking, as you were talking about Patches spilling over the bottle of Drumheller Crude, that could be very valuable someday.
Darn right it could be, as a historic artifact.
Well, there could have been enough in there to keep the Yellow Peril running for months.
You're right. There's no doubt about it. But it might presage disaster, because that bottle has been sitting there for 15 years and nobody ever touched it. Today the cat, it was moving around. It saw those birds out there, knocked that bottle over, and it broke. Now and then they have a forecast, innocuous enough, about snow flurries in a few localities. But I remember, as I was saying earlier, Gord, that's the kind of a forecast we had on April the 28th, 1967, when we ended up with 72 inches of snow.
Gee, maybe we should say good morning to Ron Giovinazzo, too. Maybe the TV tower is going to fall down.
Yeah, you never know. We'll just check on that. Well, at any rate, let's get along with the thing here. We have a beautiful day in Lethbridge right now. We have a sunny sky, a southwest wind at 14. The temperature is 33 degrees, unchanged in the past hour. And I have all the weather news for Stubbs Pharmacy and Fairfield Appliances.
Stubbs Pharmacy.
Today is the de facto equinox, because we have the sun rising at 20 minutes to 7 and setting at 20 minutes to 7, a.m. and p.m., of course.
And we have Jack Innes doing his exercises.
2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Ooh! That's all for Jack Innes as he takes an early shower. Relative humidity is 74% and the barometer 29.56. We have a few clouds, the southwest wind at 14, and the present CJOC weather tower reading 2, 3, 4. 33.
I'm never going to be able to read this now. When favorite appliances don't behave as you'd like them to, such as your Apollo exerciser. Yeah, I was kind of hoping you could have been in there when I finished playing Secreto d'Amore.
Secret d'amour.
No, it's Secreto, as secret with an O on the end, and then amore.
The secrets of love.
Is that what that means?
Is that what it means? I don't know.
I knew it had something to do with love. And
well,
something
that probably
secret.
means secreto d'amour.
I figured maybe I'd better brush you up on things like this, because I understand there is quite a large Spanish population in New York City.
Oh, yeah. Qui saba.
Who?
That means who knows. That's the only Spanish I know. Oh, well, we always have
you're
to
really going to go a long way with
on CJOC.
You're going to go a long way with that one, aren't you? Some guy's going to ask
if you don't know what to say, you just say Quizaba. And it gets you places.
Right.
It's a beautiful day. Just a few little fractocumulus clouds around. Did you hear that?
I heard that. And you said in the paper last night that stuff doesn't matter, so why do you bother?
Oh, that's right. Why do I bother?
Technical jargon.
Otherwise, variable Chinook cloudiness with brisk westerly winds along the foothills. Lows tonight will be near 20 above. Highs tomorrow will be 40 to 45.
They changed it.
They changed it again. They're, it's funny. You got to watch these lows. They're always moving. The maximum temperature in Lethbridge yesterday was 43. The overnight low was 28. Sunrise and sunset, as we've had occasion to remark throughout the day, are precisely the same times, a.m. and p.m., of course. But the sun got up this morning at 20 minutes to 7. The sun will set this evening at 20 minutes to 7. Relative humidity, 51%, and the barometer stands at 29.55, and it's continuing to fall. We have a few clouds. No, it's sunny. A westerly wind at 17, gusting to 25, and the present CJOC weather tower reading 45. It seems that we've successfully withstood the sunrise sack.
You told us yesterday that it was not going to be this cold.
No, I didn't. Did I?
You said that you didn't think it would get down much below about 20 above last night.
Oh, well, I was wrong, eh?
Yes. Did you have a yard of frost in your car this morning?
Yes, I did. It took me quite a while to scrape it all off.
Yeah, I think we should remind everybody who's heading out, although the sun is up, it will take some time to melt that stuff. So
yeah,
give yourself...
I would take your scraper out because it's really, at least on my car, it was really, locked on.
Give yourselves plus de temps.
Oui, plus de temps ce matin. And switching back to my other language, let's say that it's 4 above at Lethbridge right now, unchanged in the past hour. A few clouds in the Lethbridge sky, a westerly wind at 7 miles per hour, and I have all the weather news for Kitchener Machinery. That's Kirchner Machinery.
Right.
And Fort Macleod Auction.
Any idea what the temperature is in Kirchner, Ontario today, Bill?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I understand it's about... Oh, shut up!
15 before 8 o'clock. Bill, I think I might have a little piece of unknown information that you might be interested in.
Well, you take this unknown information and make it known to all.
Did you know that during lunch hour in New York City, There are 3.6 million office workers go to 5,000 restaurants,
I didn't realize that.
but only 500,000 can be served properly.
Good heavens. I think I'll take my lunch.
You might have to stand in a soup line. So I think if you were wise, you'd stick a corned beef on rye in your pocket each
I don't
morning.
do any better with the weather down there than I do here. Maybe I'd best stay out of those places.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're batting 1,000 these last couple of days, Matt.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible.
Well, Mr. Matheson, doesn't it do your heart good to look out there and see that sun shining bright at this time of the day?
Well, it certainly does. It
I'll tell you.
certainly does, because, you know, one of the things about getting up at this time during this season is that it's so black and dark.
Yeah.
And until you can hear the voice of one's fellow human beings, you know, you feel like you're in a pretty bad situation. But at any rate, we haven't survived the sunrise sag.
Oh, no?
Yeah. It's 0 in Lethbridge right now.
How about that?
0 degrees Fahrenheit. And I wonder if people realize that that's 18 below on the Celsius thermometer.
How about that?
How about that? Anyway, it's 0 right now. We have a southwest wind at 7, and it's the only reason I say that, of course, we're going Celsius at the beginning of next month. And, yeah, that's a drop of 2 degrees, and also the lowest temperature we've had overnight. And I have all the weather news for Kirchner Machinery and the Fort McLeod auction.
I'll take Manhattan, the Bronx, and da-da-da.
It's lovely going through the zoo. You know that in this date, let me see, I got all the details here. On this date in 1888, a blizzard swept the eastern seaboard and claimed over 400 lives. In New York City, snowdrifts were 30 feet deep on Herald Square. Can you imagine that?
You'd have a lot of fun with that
gang
one.
on 42nd Street that I will not be there. Not in there 30 feet deep on Herald Square. So that was in 1888. And I hope
Anybody
nothing
jump
like
out of
that
any
happens
windows?
again.
Or
I beg your pardon?
anybody jump out any windows or anything
Oh,
like
I
that?
suppose they did, but they didn't do much good because there were all those snowdrifts down below. Anyway, good morning, everyone, and welcome once again to the Gord Whitehead portion of the morning show. And we have clear skies, the southwest wind at 7, and the temperature here in Lethbridge is now 0. That's the lowest temperature we've had overnight. Doesn't look like we're going to make below 0 like had been forecast. At any rate, we have all the weather news for Capital Furniture and Carpeting and Superior Gulf.
Hey, Bill, do you think maybe Alan Spraggett would be interested in that story of the moose and the guy?
Oh, I think he would.
I think
And
we
you know
should-
why?
Why?
Part of the unexplained.
Wouldn't that sound good, some morning? I'm Alan Spraggett with a tale of the unexplained. Can a man's bones become intertwined with a moose's?
How about that?
That sound great?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, I think we
it's
should-
always nice to have a little something to pique the imagination. We had one of the boys out of the weather office here. He thought he might have saw some sort of a UFO, a green light, sailing around in the sky to the north of the weather office.
Yeah.
And it seemed to light right here on Channel 7's TV antenna. How about that?
Really?
We've been looking around out in the fields here to see if there's anything, around.
Any
like a
little
burn
green
mark
men?
in the grass or something like that. But I'm afraid we can't see anything. So that little green light that was sailing along and seemed to land somewhere in the vicinity of Channel 7's antenna must remain
Part of the unexplained.
And anyway, it's 20 above in Lethbridge right now, and that's a rise of 3 degrees in the past hour, and only 8 degrees less than the maximum temperature yesterday. So, we're really warming up. We have clear skies in the southwest wind at 10. It's 20 above, as I've indicated. And I have all the weather news for CE French and Hagen Electric.
Consign all your livestock to CE French Livestock Limited in the heart of Canada's ranching country.
CJOC.